Obviously for us, this is a feeling that we haven't had in a while, and we especially haven't been able to rebound after a loss like we took on Saturday night. But as I told the guys, I was very proud of their effort. I was proud of their fight. But in my opinion, we put ourselves in a position to win this game on Sunday and on Monday because of our practice habits and because of our competitiveness and because of our defensive effort. But you guys have a heck of a basketball team. I can't tell you how impressed I am with the job that Coach Dawkins has done with this team. Unbelievable. I know that we won, and it's easy for me to come up here and say this, but I'm telling you, what he's done is short of unbelievable. So,
Coach, what were you thinking when they forced overtime, and then how proud are you of your guys to come on the road and face adversity and still pull it out?
Yeah, I mean, you guys, and again, this is why I think Coach Dawkins has done such a good job. What a great atmosphere. I played here last year. It wasn't nearly what it was tonight. I mean, your fans were great. The place was packed, and they were loud. So for us to be able to pull it out, which is something we haven't done very often in the Big 12, right? It just goes to show that, our guys fought hard and that their character showed through at the end.
Coach, it would seem like UCF has all the momentum going into overtime after hitting that big shot, but your guys come out and kind of silence them early and take the lead and able to pull it out in the end. What does that say about your group, and how much more plays did you see at the end of overtime as opposed to the end of the second half?
Guys, you won't understand this because you're not part of our travel party and you don't follow our team like this, but this is the exact replica of us going to Arizona and playing Arizona State. We got pummeled at Arizona and we couldn't get our heads up and we couldn't fight hard enough to recover for the Tuesday game at Arizona State. Obviously, we got pummeled at Cincinnati, and this time we were able to get our heads up and we were able to fight through. So, the guys in today's game, I'm very, very proud of them. They were able to respond and come out on top. So, again, we've got a long ways to go, but I'm proud of their effort today.
Coach, last time your team forced a lot of fouls against UCF, and this one, once again, you forced a lot of fouls out of them, this time 27. When you look at this team's ability to create fouls like this, what were you seeing from your team there?
Yeah, I mean, when and we shot the ball fairly well in the first half from the three. I'm sorry, in the second half from the three. When you're not consistent with your three-point shooting, you've got to find other ways to get extra possessions and to get more points, right? And tonight I thought we did it with getting to the free throw line. I mean, we were in the bonus with 13 minutes to go in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. Then what we really did a good job of in the second half is we were plus 12 on the boards. We were minus 4 at the half, and we finished, I believe, plus 8 for the game, if I'm not mistaken. And that's not something that we've normally been able to do. So I was very proud of their effort and their fight. I mean, usually when you win the rebounding battle, a large part of that is determination and fight and grit and boxing out and then going to get the basketball. So, again, very proud of the guys.
The team was down 23-10 pretty early in the game. What was kind of the approach to just find a foothold in the game to not let things kind of get out of whack early?
Yeah, unfortunately, we've not done a great job of starting games. Tonight we missed 3 layups in the first 5 minutes, right? Point blank layups. We missed a dunk. And when you do that, man, you kind of dig yourselves into a little bit of hole. But again, I credit the guys with their resolve and being able to fight their way out of it.
How did you guys change up defensively too? Because they got some pretty easy looks in those first few possessions, and then it seemed like they kind of had to settle for jump shots for a good stretch of the first half.
Yeah, I thought early on in the game we didn't do a good job of guarding your three-point shooters, and obviously you guys shoot the three well. But then as the game settled in, I thought we were a little bit better. The other thing that we were able to do is when you have the 2 big guys in Stillwell and Bull, you're, in those side ball screens especially, you're able to kind of help and hold at the rim a little bit longer, and that allowed us to protect the paint and the rim a little bit more.
Coach, you mentioned the rebound battle and how important that is, and the second half was much better. What were you trying to change in that halftime speech? Maybe some conversations you had to have to win that rebounding battle?
Yeah, I mean, for lack of a better way to say it, in the simplest of terms, I said, guys, if you want to win this game, you got to rebound the ball, right? You're not going to be able to go -4 again the second half and win this basketball game. And to their credit, you know, we were +8 or +12, I'm sorry, +12 in the second half. Is that right? I believe so, yeah. And that was the difference in the game, in my opinion.
Building on what you said earlier about the team Dawkins has formed here, I mean, one of those players being Bemis Folks and having to go into the transfer portal to build this roster. What did you know about him going forward, as well as some of those other seniors like Kugel and Stillwell, especially from what you saw earlier in the season?
Guys, and I don't want this to come off wrong because we all have great jobs. But this is not one of the higher resource jobs within our league. And for him to be able to put that roster together and for them to be able to play together, they seem to really like one another. They share the basketball, they play hard. They're very talented offensively, and he's gotten them to buy in defensively. Man, that's hard to do in this portal and NIL age. It really is, and that's why I'm so impressed. Again, so impressed with what he's done.
Think about the contributions of Anthony Roy. There were some times, you know, late in the second half, UCF trying to make a run, and he kept on hitting shots.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony's due, guys. Golly, and he didn't even shoot it great. He was 3 of 7 from the three, but he's over the last 5 games he's not been shooting the ball well. But to his credit, you know, he stays in the gym and he stays confident with what he does. I thought tonight he did a much better job of shot faking and driving and playing off 2 in the lane, and he was able to get some baskets going there and get to the free throw line, which certainly helped him.
First time you guys played UCF, Parsa had 24 points. Obviously, he's been out injured. So, what do you think about the contributions of the bigs that you got tonight between Benjamin Ahmed and Vukovic in overtime?
Yeah, I didn't total it up, but I know Vukovic had 10 rebounds and 7, so we're talking, and then Ben had 5, so they got 15 rebounds and 17 points between them. I always look at it by position rather than by person, and that's a good stat line for that position. But guys, I mean, we're just still trying to figure out how to put it back together without Parsi. Obviously, was a very good player for us, and just a tremendous leader. We miss him sorely, but tonight, you know, we did, and I'm very proud of the guys for their fight and their effort.
Well, Coach, you do have one of the highest scoring bench in the Big 12 to fall back on for something like that, and you once again won the bench point battle right there. Dawkins has talked about depth before, but how do you see your depth on your roster coming in handy, especially today?
Yeah, I mean, those of you that have followed our program, I've never really put a lot of stock in who starts, right? I believe in getting as many good players as you can that play together and play the right way, and our guys, you know, on certain nights are okay with maybe not starting. And tonight was one of those nights where I just thought that they all played their role and they all played for one another, which necessarily hasn't always been the case with us. So again, if we can continue to make progress with playing unselfishly and playing hard and playing for one another, you know, we'll have a chance here as we head to Saturday against Houston and obviously when we go to Kansas City next week. Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.